will know you as our Morson Forces Ambassador, and will know all about your background. But for anyone watching who isn't so familiar with your story, can you tell us a little bit about your background and your relationship with Morson?
Yeah, so I joined the army in 1997. Did various tours of operation, 2 years in Northern Ireland, a little bit of time in Kosovo, 2 tours of Iraq, and then I went to Afghanistan in 2009. And 3 months into that operational tour, on a routine foot patrol, I stepped on what's called an improvised explosive device, an IED device. And unfortunately, that resulted in me losing my right leg below the knee, my left leg above the knee, and my right arm above my elbow. The guys who was in my team straight away got around me, applied first aid, battlefield first aid, basically saved my life. Get me on a helicopter back to Camp Bastion, where the amazing surgeons there, the NHS who was involved as well, who are doing an absolutely fantastic job at the moment, as we know, all got around me, got me on this rehabilitation journey, and helped me move my life forward. And within a couple of hours of coming out and realising what had happened to me, I thought, I'm survivor, not a victim. And I accepted responsibility for what had happened to me. Ultimately, I joined the armed forces, so I accepted the responsibility for what goes along with that, and that's what's helped me move my life forward. And over the next couple of years, I started doing different challenges for charities, bike rides, and abseiling off buildings, and jumping out of airplanes, and all kinds that I could possibly do just to try and give back to the charities that supported me on my journey. And then it was probably about 3 years ago now, I think, I did a talk for Wigan Athletic Football Club. They lost about 3 games. The manager at the time lived in my village. He asked me to come and do a talk for the team. So I did that. They won the next 4 games. And then they invited me to Old Trafford to come and watch them play against Man United. So I went along, watched the game, and then I got invited to Sir Alex Ferguson's box to meet Sir Alex Ferguson, which was a massive honour. He was a fantastic guy. He achieved a lot in his life. And I told him about a challenge that I was doing, a 400-mile bike ride, followed by a 125-mile kayak, to raise some money for charity and pay respect to 6 guys from my regiment who passed away in a warrior armoured vehicle in Afghanistan. And Jed was in the room, and he listened to me talking to Alex and gave me his business card and asked me to come and see him on Monday at HQ there, Anderson House. So I went along there, met Jed, told him about the challenge a bit more. He sponsored me for the challenge, and then he asked me to come and do a talk at the half-yearly conference at Glen Eagles, which is absolutely an amazing location for me to do my presentation. Did the talk to the staff there. I think, was you there yourself?
I wasn't, unfortunately.
I realised that at the time then, they had about 500 veterans working for the company on different projects. I just thought it was an opportunity to become the Armed Forces Ambassador for the company, and I put that to Jed, and he was more than happy to bring that on board and make that happen. And then that's where I've been ever since. And a fantastic journey for myself, and I think now we've got 1,500.
I think it's even more than that. I think we're around 2,500 people. So you can just see how it's grown massively since you've kind of started your role as ambassador, and it's really snowballed. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's gone really good. I think, I'm very well known within the veterans community. Yeah. I think if I say this company is fantastic, then the guys know, well, Andy says they must be good. So
that level of trust. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And we've been out with Pat McMullen and James Lacey to the recruitment fairs, chatting to the guys. And a lot of the guys, like myself, when you think about leaving the armed forces, you're not sure what you're going to do. It's a whole new world from doing a lot of time in the army, where you get told what time to be up. You know what you're wearing every day. You put your uniform on every morning. You go to the cookhouse. You stand in a line. You get your meal in the morning, dinner time, at tea time. You haven't got to think about gas bills, electric bills, poll tax, all that kind of stuff. So it's like a new world that you come into. And I think using our experience of veterans who've left the army are now working within the recruitment industry, know, we're very well placed to nurture these guys and put them on the path that they need to be on, and it's worked really well.
But going back to your experiences on tour, you made a really interesting point earlier in the week about how being on operational tour was very much like being in the isolation that we are experiencing now. And I was just wondering if you could expand on that a little bit more and tell us what the parallels are between the two experiences.
Yeah, it depends on where you are. So, like in Kosovo, for example, obviously you're away from home, so you're away from your family.
Yeah.
You're with your team, so you're with your friends, kind of thing, and there's like coffee shops there, and there's bars and nightclubs, usual facilities. You've got to do your job that you're doing while you're there. So it's a bit like at home at the moment now. There's these places out there, and normally you'd be going to enjoy yourself at those places, but we have got to stay indoors and stay safe so we can overcome this pandemic that's happening and move on. So I think they're quite similar tours. You get homesick. Over in Afghanistan, for example, you only get 20-minute phone call a week. With that phone call, you've got to phone your mum. Mum and dad were separated, so then you got to phone your dad as well. You got to phone your girlfriend. You might want to phone one of your friends or your grandma. And if something happens, someone gets injured or unfortunately loses their life, then they turn the phones off. So then you might miss your slot for the week. So I think it is difficult for people. But we have got modern technology, as we're speaking now over this Zoom. We can phone up, we can speak to friends and family, we can see friends and family over the social media, on Facebook and Twitter, and see what people are doing. So it's not as bad as it seems, really. And I think it's just about routine. For me, over in Afghanistan, you get up in the morning still at your time that you actually go up at 6:30 in the morning, go for a bit of a run, get a shower, get a wash and shave. I think sticking to routine is the most important thing. Sorry, that's flashed up there as well. I just had a message flash up, sorry. Yeah, I think sticking to routine is very, very important. You'd normally get up for work, so I think continue to get up at that time that you normally get up. If you take the dog for a walk in the morning before you come to work, have that as your daily exercise that we're allowed to do, and continue to do that. And just stick to those routines that you used to have as best as you possibly can. And what I found really helpful when I was in Afghanistan was writing a daily diary. It really helped me, especially when the time had come that I come home from Afghanistan, to look back and read that diary and see what happened over that period of time. Because I think when people do come back to work, that's going to be quite difficult as well. Back in an environment where it's noisy and it's busy, when you have been home at isolation, and if you haven't got a friend or family member who you're living with, then that's going to be very difficult. So I think writing that diary every day and writing in there what your thoughts are, offloading them out to your mind, because we're all going through a difficult time at the moment, and thoughts can come into your mind, and you're thinking, what am I doing in my life? What am I actually achieving in life? Where am I going? And that kind of thing. And I think writing those things down in a diary or just on a bit of paper or whatever can offload that information out of your mind and help you be able to deal with that as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Fantastic tips for mental health. Do you think that people will learn from this period of lockdown?
I think, we've just come out of Brexit, haven't we, which is a massive thing. And even my little boy, he's only 7, yesterday went, can we talk about Brexit again? Because but I think that really divided the country. It divided communities of who you were voting for, whether you're in or out, what political party you were going for, and whatever. And I think, if nothing else, this will bring communities closer together. When you were out last night at 8 o'clock for clapping, one of my neighbours there, you never really ever see him. He's a little bit rude, to be honest. But last week, he come round, put his phone number through everyone's letterbox in the street, and said, if you need any help or assistance, this is my number, give me a call. And yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? I think, it will bring communities closer together, and people are really trying to help each other. With my little cafe that I've got there, I've been doing food deliveries for the old people in the village, where we never maybe thought about that. in the past. It's a bit like going back to the end of the Second World War, isn't it? Or when the war was on. And that generation of people, you know, the generations like Captain Tom, what an absolute
amazing
legend. Yeah. His generation helped each other. That's what they did. And I think our generation we're quite self-sufficient and moving forward. Hopefully it's going to bring communities and streets and people closer together and make us realise that we're all in this together, and let's help each other move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're 100% right. You've been doing deliveries around your local area, so I'm sure people in St Helens will have seen you in the Morson's van.
Been out and about in the van, the Morson Forces van there. Obviously, I've got the coffee shop, like I said, and in St Helens they have a veterans breakfast club where about 50 veterans come every Thursday, and they have a bacon butty and a sandwich, and they get the sandbag out and they'll tell stories about where they've been on tour and what it was like when they were serving, and just have a bit of banter, a bit of laughing and joy with each other. And those veterans and the wider community as well will be missing that. So I just thought, I'll put a message out there to the veterans. If you want a bacon butty, sticking to the guidelines, I can come along and I can drop that off. And one of the guys there, John, who's partially sighted as well, so it must be very difficult for him to go to his local shop and stick to the guidelines of the distancing from each other. You can't see how far away he is from somebody, and things like that. So I just thought I'll put a message out there and see who wants a bacon sandwich, and I'll go out and deliver that. And just to have a chat with John there and say, "Hey mate, you okay? How you doing? Is everything all right? What you've been up to?" Just a quick 5-minute chat. Give him the bacon butty and then get off. You could really see it lifted his spirits up quite a bit. And then I did it on yesterday for another guy, another veteran, and then an old lady from the village who said, they can't get online, so they can't go online and book a slot for one of the supermarkets for delivery because she's like 88 years old. She's probably not got a computer in a house. Her family might live quite far away. So it's very difficult for these people, but if they can pick the phone up and ring our cafe and go down and drop it off, again, like I say, sticking to the guidelines that the government have set, that's very important that we all do that. It just makes their day a little bit better, doesn't it?
Fantastic.
Meeting people there.
Absolutely. It's just those little things that are meaning so much to people at the moment. It's really, really great to see.
I think it's good for people to see. Well, I know I'm quite well known in my community, and it's nice for me to go along and I want to keep being active and doing things. As we know, I'm normally out and about. I'm normally in a hotel somewhere at least like 2 nights a week. So it's been difficult for me to be
family. So how are you keeping them entertained?
Oh yeah, well we've got William who's 7, so we're doing like some homeschooling. I'm doing alternative homeschooling, like a bit of construction, building things, building a hammock in the garden and some dens and things like that. I'm leaving the educational homeschooling to his grandma who's staying with us and his mum, because they're a lot smarter than me. So that seems to be a bit better. We are very lucky, to be honest. I've thought about this. That we have got a great garden. He's got a slide and a swing and a zip line in his garden, and then just doing some baking in the house and bits and bobs. It is difficult to try and keep the kids entertained, and I wouldn't want to be a school teacher with them every single day of the week. But no, I think just trying to keep on top of things with the kids, yeah. And it's been disappointing because we had the summer holidays or the Easter holidays. Obviously, we were going to go away and things like that. So it's not to explain to them that we're not going to do that now. Now we're going to stay here and have some fun in the house and get jobs done around the house. To be honest, that you've been putting off for months and years, probably thinking, "Oh, I'll get around to doing that at one time." I think anything in my garden that doesn't move, it's been sanded down and painted. So keeping myself busy with things like that as well. So that's been fantastic.
I won't take up any more of your time, and I'll let you return that call. But thank you very much for this morning. It's been brilliant. Yeah.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, and if any members of staff want to reach out to me on a personal note, then please pass on the details. I can about any mental health issues that they've got. and obviously with my connection with Leon House,
Yes.
who I'm also ambassador for, we can offer treatments over the Zoom technology with counsellors.
I'll definitely pass it on. Wonderful. Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All right. See you.